Good evening and welcome to Blue Dream Love and Wellness. Tonight we are talking about the urinary system. Now we can discuss every and any system, organ, gland, and it'd be kind of boring because there's so much information involved. But I want you to remember just how vitally important every organ and every gland is to your optimal health and wellness. Now, the urinary system's actual function is to filter and create urine as a waste byproduct. We all know that. And we all know it includes the kidneys, the ureter, the renal pelvis floor that goes right underneath the ureters, the bladder, and the urethra. And the body actually takes nutrients from food and converts them to energy. That's why when we talk about the kidney meridian, we're going to talk about a little energy spot that can give you energy throughout the day by you tapping it. Now, I know that we all know our parts, but do we know them all wholly? Do we know what to do if something goes wrong? Now, the urethra, as you know, is that little bitty tube that connects the bladder and allows the elimination of urine. Now, that little tube can get discomfort and become infected, and you need to get an antibiotic or oregano oil. There are several different things you can utilize to help that tube. It's so amazing that the brain actually signals the bladder muscle to tighten, which squeezes the urine out. And then at the same time, the brain signals that sphincter muscle to relax again and let the urine exit through the urethra. I think we were made all so beautifully and so uniquely that it is simply amazing how the Lord put us together. So anytime, if you're being a practitioner and you are functioning and working with these imbalances, you would go in and ask for the root cause. You can ask what imbalance is within, but if you ask for the root cause, it's going to take you a layer deeper. Now, as we also know, these little ureter tubes are really minutely specific. They're only 25 centimeters long, and it carries urine from the kidneys down into the bladder, and it descends, and it's behind the peritoneum, and it enters the urinary bladder. So we could have infections even within these little ureters. I've been in on surgeries before where somebody has had severe kidney damage, and their ureter would be completely, I can't even say the word, it makes me want to vomit, deceased. It's all black, it's all shrunk. So when we talk about these different systems, it's very important that we keep them flowing as perfectly as possible. And if you've got a pain in one of your ureters, because it will be on your side. So the bladder itself is subperitoneal. It's just a hollow muscular organ that acts as a reservoir for the urine. I know y'all know that, but it is in the lesser pelvis when empty and extends into the abdominal cavity when full. And in children, it doesn't extend into the abdominal cavity until they reach puberty. So it grows with them as they grow. So it's all very important of how this works. Let's keep going. And as you know, these beautiful kidneys, now these are really healthy kidneys. I found some very unhealthy kidneys, but I decided not to put them out here because it's really sad to see unhealthy kidneys. Kidneys themselves are a special filter for our specific body. They remove the literal waste products from the blood and produce urine. Now, if we have trouble with our blood, then the one thing we need to check is if our spleen is functioning properly. Kidneys control the level of many substances within the blood, and the kidneys help to control your blood pressure. So a lot of people may not realize that when their blood pressure is elevated, their kidneys may also be having trouble, and so may their eyes, because they're all interconnected. Don't let them tell you that it's not, because it's very much interconnected. So our bladder doesn't release any hormones, but our beautiful kidneys do. Now, we all know about the renin. This is the blood pressure hormone. And in the last month, I have noticed with clients, almost every single one of them, the renin was non-existent in their body. And they also had blood pressure problems. One of the things that keeps showing up is micro and macroplastics. Now, there's a big to-do anymore about micro and macroplastics, and I just read an article tonight where they're finding micro and macroplastics in placenta in a case study that they did, all of the placenta. So we need to be a little more careful about what we're eating and digesting. Erythropoietin, it works in the bone marrow to boost the production of the red blood cells. That's why I'm mentioning again the spleen, the immune and lymphatic system. We've got to make sure everything is working together for all the other organs and glands to function properly. Did you know that vitamin D is changed in your kidneys? And it helps your gut absorb the calcium that we derive from keeping our bones and muscles happy. Did you realize that? It's amazing what all is around. So we want to stay raw strong. Now, if we're needing to take magnesium to smooth our muscles down, we want to take a potassium with them, because potassium will work when you take a magnesium together better than if you do alone. Now, the kidneys and the bladder both set within the sacral and solar plexus. Now, we always know that we have to have everything aligned to contribute to our overall well-being. And when we deal with our sacral and solar plexus, we want to remember what all we are releasing, like with our solar plexus. Remember, we have many micro and macro and even littler chakras within our body. And in the United States, I'm just going to say that so I don't go deeper, we only are supposed to be working with those 7. We can work with all the others, but there's 7 layers deep. But did you know there's actually 14 layers, and we can go into the nadas, like your tongue has a chakra, your hands have chakras. But when we're talking about their solar plexus, we are releasing any shame that is within that solar plexus. And when you're working with the sacral chakra, you are working with all and any guilt that lay within, and we carry it for a long time. And it can also be inherited, shared, and absorbed. When we do, I don't know how many of you practice meditations, do yoga, do any type of energy healing, because there are so many. It will foster the alignment and balance these energy centers. There's so many energy centers within our body, and we want to aim positively at impacting the associated organs and create holistic health across the board, do we not? Is that not what we're trying to strive for, is to create health? So this is one of your main meridians with the kidney. Now, you can muscle test if you need to run it backwards. And at times when our meridians are not running correctly, we have to flush it backwards. So we would come up from here and we would literally flush it off of our big toe. And then you would bring it back in. You would come from the big toe, come on the inside of your legs, come in, and you want to come right up to your collarbones. Now, this point right here, this is K27, and you can tap this point many times during the day, and it will give you energy. When your body's no longer able to give you energy, like let's say you're driving and you're wanting energy and it's not giving you energy, that means you need to pull off the road and stop because your body is done. But if you do pop on this K27, it will give you energy. So when we're working with the kidney meridian, we know that it has a diurnal cycle of 5 to 7 p.m. That it's when it's at its peak. So it's functioning at its best. The element of, of course, water. So the symptoms, this is all the symptoms that you can have when your kidney meridian isn't functioning properly. And remember that all meridians also tie into our teeth. So it's very important. The adrenal fatigue is a very common thing now with everyone, unfortunately, and we really need to watch adrenal fatigue, our memory problems. I have a lot of people that tell me all the time they have brain fog. What is not functioning properly, correct? Okay, bladder meridian. Now, these are both that you can run. Now, when you run the bladder meridian, you want to start here at your nose and go up and over. And when you get here, you want to go down the sides and that way. And then you want to come up the same way. But if you just need a little boost, you can come right in here and massage and come out and massage all the way down. And you will feel oh, mine's a little sore. And you can do, who says that? And you can do that several times and you will feel, mine's tingling, and feel the energy flow. You want to go off of the pinky toe, and I'd stand up and show you, but you're not going to be able to see it. So you go out over the waist and down the outside and go off. So its diurnal cycle is from 3 to 5 p.m. right before, and its element of course, water too. So trouble with urination, excess negative energy, eye problems, runny nose, nosebleeds, and discomforts and several other energies. Now, in Qigong, see if I can get you to see this. You take your hands and you want to swing. So you want your shoulders level and you want to start here and you want to swing. Now, you can go really fast or not, but you're actually popping. You can see here the front of the kidneys. And when you turn around, you're actually popping the back. I do a 200 count daily, sometimes several times a day. And that actually sends positive vibrational energy through that whole area, through the chakra area, through the kidneys, through the bladder, and it just keeps vibrating. And it actually gives a little more energy and a little boost, and it will help detox also. Like I said, you can go really fast and do it, or you can go slow and do it. That's just another form of Qigong. Now, our bodies talk to us. It's whether we listen or not, is whether we can tell what's going on. So when your body talks about your kidneys, these are not all, but these are just a few. So see if any of these touch your heart. Contributing factors that may be to your kidneys are living with guilt, living with regret, resentment, blame, ancient sadness that has come down through inheritance, holding on to destructive beliefs and memories from the past, exhaustion, depression, numbness, paralyzing fear, focusing on the negative aspects of life, not being able to trust, difficulty dealing with challenging situations, crumbling under pressure, or giving up completely. Does this sound like anybody? Does this hit anything for you? If you want to drop it in the chat, that's fine. If you want to speak up, that's fine. This is just a handful. There is much more. So when you're working with the kidneys and these old verbiages come up, what you want to work with is forgiveness, not only to other people, but you need to forgive yourself. We are our world's worst critic, is how we talk to ourselves. We want to bring in the innocence, the laughter, the honor, and the joy that was there and bring it back to fruition. You want to bring in those bright colors of orange and silver and green. You want to allow, because everybody has a divine healing intelligence. Everybody, you have an original blueprint. And you want this divine healing intelligence to regenerate and revitalize your kidneys and all of the related organs to their maximum health, vitality, and well-being. And you know how we learned last time that the kidneys are the only, or the liver was the only thing that we can regenerate? Kidneys can also, to a certain extent, and depending on how far they have gone. Now, dealing with the language of your bladder. See if anything this touches you. You may feel wishy-washy, which means like you don't have a spirit, you don't have a backbone. You are annoyed, you are inefficient, you are irritable, you are guilty. The sense of powerlessness and frustration seems to be all around you. You feel angry, peeved with your partner or the person that you're closest to. Every little thing makes you kind of itchy and scratchy to where you're just not happy. You want to be somewhere else other than where you are at this current time. You hold on to worries from the past, which have you stopped from moving forward. You have no boundaries and you need your own space. Does this sound like anybody? Does any of this hit you? When you bring in the healthy emotions, again, forgiveness, happiness, but the bladder needs confidence. to bring it back to health. We all need confidence daily. We share this maximum strength within us, so we connect on a much deeper level. And we want to bring in with our bladder the colors of yellow and green. So we can hold our hands. The reason I put it in our palms like this is because we hold our health right in our palms. And if we're not listening to what our body is saying to us, we're not going to be healthy, are we? So this goes a little bit deeper. Now, I know that I've been bringing up metaphysical items to you all, but it's very important that you understand metaphysically what's going on in your body. And it's heavy and there's a lot and it's dark. So I, again, just took out a piece, and I hope you can understand and see if this hits anybody. We must understand that the kidneys share a great deal of anger and resentment. You often feel very upset due to old abandonment and rejection trauma from childhood. Remember, any trauma, any inner child imbalances will show up when we are an adult. We need to take care of them and bring them so that little inner child, that little one, can be joined with your adult self in peace and in harmony. You always seem to expect the worst in life. You may have found yourself in a situation or a partnership that is triggering these old abandonment and rejection traumas. We can have triggers from smells, from touches, from looks. There's so many items that can cause a trigger. Get to know your triggers so we can take care of your triggers so you do not have that anymore, because it's about staying within your boundaries. The fear surfaces in the form of resentment and anger, and that's really hard to keep a lid on, because the anger in resentment is the most powerful defense, and it keeps threatening the situations and the people at bay you use to resent and fight against challenges. The more a person overlooks and ignores the resentments and the anger, the more sluggish and toxic their kidneys will become, and you will feel emotionally challenged to let go of any of those negative emotions. The kidneys will also feel the challenge that you're going through and to let go of the toxins. But if they could talk, if they could literally speak, they are very quiet and they are very calm for as much work as our kidneys do for us. We need to be very thankful of them and appreciative of them. And I even, in Eden Energy Medicine, you learn to draw hearts around organs and glands to bring in the peace and the harmony and the gratitude that you have for every organ and gland, because we don't always show that, do we? So with the bladder, again, there's more metaphysical. You must remember that people do store quite a great deal of their daily irritation from the emotions that we have in the bladder and in the urinary tract. On a daily basis, does everybody get irritated here and there? Does everybody have a perfect day every day? I imagine we do not, do we? So when a person is overwhelmed with stress, irritation, or feeling peeved, pissed off, it can physically surface in these areas. Bladder problems often start when a person is trying hard to resist being controlled by an authority figure, whether that's a parent, clergy, school teacher, it doesn't matter. You often revert to aggression to emotionally protect yourself. Your motivation and talents may have been attacked by an influential person. So that again, challenge your ability to succeed. At times, people do not empty their bladders. When visiting the restroom, you're in a hurry. And this means that they are not letting go of their anger and resentment towards someone. You're hurrying. You're not relaxing. We need to step back, take a breath, and relax once in a while for ourselves and for our bodies. Now, I know that I don't know if all of you do, but I am a very big reflexology person and believe in reflexology. Now, this reflex here that goes up this way is your ureter tube. So you want to pull your foot back just a little bit, and you'll feel it. It feels like a really tight tendon in there, and you don't want to do it dry. You want to do it with an essential oil or lotion, and you want to use your thumb, or you can use the side of a stone and push it up. You will, if you're using your fingers, you will feel little pops in there. It'll feel like little crystals are breaking. That's good. We need to break that up. That is stuff stuck in there that doesn't need to be in there. And you repeat it 3 or 4 times. You don't want to do it too much because they will get sore, but you need to make sure you hydrate enough for your body's natural needs, because it shows up as crystals in the ureter area. And if you've ever ran your hands over your feet, done any reflexology, you'll know about the little crystals that I'm talking about. So this is your ureter. And let me see if it'll let me have the next one. There we go. And this is in the way. Let me see if I can get this up. Come on. There we go. Get it out of the way. Now this one, as you can see, you want to come right above and you want to go all 3 ways. So this is the medial part right here until you reach right up into the spinal area itself, and it may be sore. You can work on this area a few times. And again, don't be surprised if there's crystals in there, and just keep working to disperse them. When I had my reflexology done, she just keeps shaking her head because my kidneys and bladder are not in very good shape. So this is one of the reasons that I do this, is because it works so well to help us stay on top. We have so many modalities in which we can do to help us with each and every organ and gland to help us remain in homeostasis, or to get us to homeostasis when we are not in homeostasis. Okay. Now, all of you know that have worked with me know that I have an AO scanner, and I certainly believe in what it does. This is the front report. This is just a body systems report. There's many aspects that we can check on the body and the organs, the glands, the systems. It's just a few. There's so many things. But the AO scanner, and I put, is a diagnostic machine. It is not a diagnostic machine. It is a knowledge machine. I can't believe I put that. And it's you have to understand the way it works with your body. It works with the frequencies that lay within the body. Everything is energy, outside, inside, and we all have different frequencies, and we can raise the vibrational energy, and we can also bring it back down. But we need to have our vibrational area raised for we can stay within total wellness. In this scan that I did here, it shows you exactly how it is balanced with the body's food and electrolytes. It shows you the pictures and it goes through and tells you everything that it does. And it also optimizes. So it also helps with bone health by controlling calcium and phosphorus. And the urinary system is a very important and vital system in our immune system and total body wellness, connecting again the importance of hydration. You'll hear me talk about hydration all the time. So we can take proactive steps to our urinary system. So this is what just the body systems looks like. This is not the vital scan. It looks totally different, and the comprehensive looks different. They all are a little different. But what this one tells you, it has where I have acute and chronic areas within my kidneys, which I know. And then it has the vitals of what I may need to assist my health. You know, like ferritin, I may need ferritin or beta carotene, et cetera, et cetera. But again, using applied kinesiology, you would muscle test what you need and what you don't need. Just because the report's here doesn't mean you run out and buy all this stuff and do all this. And what could have caused all these imbalances within my system? Medication is what caused all mine. So these, like I said, they could have been inherited, shared, absorbed, but these urinary causes, these are acute and these are chronic. So staph, black mold, when we lived in a little house back when I was a kid, we had black mold. That's still within their vibrating. SARS, when they thought I had COVID, before COVID became COVID and scarred my lungs, that's still present. And all of these are still present, as acute as they are. Now, the emotional causes, it does give you the emotions that your bladder may be feeling, your kidney may be feeling. And then it has a way for you to improve your health. Consider chiropractic care, solar plexus, niacin, nitric oxide, bringing more oxygen in. Monitor my blood sugar and blood pressure, which mine is not where it should be. Solar plexus, vitamins and minerals. I'm doing that. Solex. They have Solex Blue and D3K2. I utilize a different brand, so I don't use that. But there are so many things that this little machine can tell you from just a 10-second vibration of your voice. So there are so many massive health issues that can occur within the kidney and bladder, and we could be here for a long time talking about it. But what I see through research is they all talk about distilled water, 6 to 8 glasses. But in my thinking, we can use reverse osmosis water. We all have in our refrigerators, we all have filters, and then we have Brita filters on top of that. So I don't know why the distilled water. I couldn't find a reason why distilled water. I mean, I know why, but it's just more plastic. Pre and probiotics, especially if you are on an antibiotic, because the antibiotic doesn't care, it will kill the normal bacteria just as well as it kills the bad. You need to take the pro and prebiotic 2 hours away from any medication and keep them in the freezer. Vitamin B needs to be in the morning to reduce the fluid retention. Vitamin C plus bioflavonoids. It helps to acidify the urine, so the immune function and aiding in healing. Dandelion root, as we know, aids in excretion of the kidney's waste products, and it's needed for nephritis. Dandelion does a lot of good for many of our organs and glands. Now, these ones can all be used separately or together. Goldenrod tea, it's not a bad taste in tea. Juniper berries, marshmallow, not marshmallow, marshmallow root. When I first started with my kidneys, I took marshmallow root, dandelion, and cloves, and made tea from them. Nettle, parsley, red clover, watermelon seed tea is good for your kidneys. You can also make a tea out of corn silk and add a few cloves for it doesn't taste so, it's kind of got a bite. And they say to drink 1 quart of marshmallow tea a day to strengthen the bladder and to cleanse the kidneys and bladder and expel any kidney stones. It's hard to get a quart down. It's really hard to get it down your throat. It definitely has a bite. They also state that you need a low protein diet for obtaining most of your protein from vegetable sources like peas and beans and lentils and mushrooms and asparagus. High protein diet actually causes the body to lose calcium. And when this is excreted, it passes through the kidneys and causes painful kidney stones. That's why they talk so much about making sure you're taking the right calcium. Now, one of the herbs that I utilize on a daily basis is called KBC. It is a beautiful Chinese herb that I don't do without. It definitely strengthens the urinary system. It is for the structural part, especially for the bones, and it may help restore energy. I know when I don't take it, I can feel that my energy isn't as vibrant as what it normally is. And it's a very beautiful earth, and it's concentrated. That's why it's TCM. The next one is hydrangea, and I'm sure you've all heard of hydrangea before. It is used mainly the Native Americans were the ones that brought it to us and told us that it targeted the kidneys and the urinary support. So we have been using it since then, and they even use it for release of headaches. Each herb and holistic has different things that it can help. It causes positivity across the whole of the body, not like where in Western medicine you put a pill and it causes massive problems. The next thing is a kidney activator, and it's usually traditionally used to support the urinary system, but the bladder too. But that's where you come in and ask and you muscle test because there are so many products out there and you can test for more than one product. I use KBC, dandelion, and corn silk, and clove tea when I need to, and marshmallows when I need to. And corn silk also comes in a capsule. You don't have to make the tea, but the tea is better for you. You can make a tea out of these capsules too. You just use 3 capsules, put in a cup of hot water, boil it after it's boiled, and utilize it. And the corn silk also helps with your immune system. So foods that actually may help boost your kidneys and bladder, low phosphorus cheese. Wonder why that came out like that. Root vegetables, broccoli, beans, seeds, nuts. You can read all these. Exercise. You're gonna hear me talk about exercising a lot. So many times people don't feel that they need to exercise, but we really do need at least 3 to 4 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes of exercise for our body a day, whether it's Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, weights, walking, hiking, swimming. Move your body. It appreciates it. Apples, cherries, shellfish, curry berries, eggs, yogurt, flax. All these are all good for your bladder and kidneys. We really need to be careful, like on our citrus, though, even though they say citrus is good, you don't want to have citrus every day. Citrus will take that off of your teeth. The foods that can help cleanse the kidneys and the bladder. We all need to do a cleanse now and again. Apple cider vinegar. I'm sure a lot of people are already using apple cider vinegar every morning, and we know it gets rid of oxidative stress of the kidneys. Our body has oxidative stress in it no matter what. So it would help it get rid of our oxidative stress. It's how the body kind of rusts from the inside out. So these are good. Kidney beans, lemon juice again every other day, watermelon, pomegranate, basil, dates, and dandelion. There's so many things you can do so well with so many parts of the herbs. There is such a crucial link between the health of the urinary system and the overall well-being of our body. Again, staying well hydrated, maintaining a balanced diet. Again, there's that physical activity. We can take small positive steps for optimal health for your overall wellness journey. Because if we take big steps, we're not going to stay there. People that take big steps seem to fall back. So take smaller steps forward for you keep carrying the momentum forward. Remember how beautiful your body is. God made us such an incredible masterpiece. And caring for your body, just not your urinary system, is a fundamental part of your whole total body maintenance. These small mindful choices pave the way for a healthier, most vibrant tomorrow, because that's what it's all about, is moving through today for tomorrow. Embrace the journey itself of well-being and let each positive choice that you make be the next step to your vibrant health, energetic life you deserve, because everybody deserves a vibrant, healthy life. I have lived a life, my whole life for 63 years, that has been sick almost every day. And it's not a lot of fun. So believe me, when I say that things can come back when they tell you they can't be, they can be, because I've had things that should not be functioning right now that are totally back to working as they should be. So there are many diseases, as I talked about, involved in our urinary system. Nausea and vomiting, muscle cramps, loss of appetite, swelling via the feet, the ankles, dry, itchy skin, shortness of breath, trouble sleeping, urinating too much, urinating too little. These are all problems. The most common type of kidney disease is chronic kidney disease. There are many others that are out there, like acute kidney injuries, the kidney stones, infections, cysts, and cancers. Believe it or not, about 60% of women experience urinary tract infections, but the percentage of men is only around 12%. Isn't that? I thought that was very apropos. So here's something we're all going to do together. I don't know if you've ever heard of emotional freedom technique. This is called tapping. And how this works is we're just going to go through and do it together, because we can move energy by placing our fingers, by rubbing the energy and shaking it off and running our meridians, or doing, like touching on our third eye and our belly button and pushing in and pulling up and getting our energies to hook up. that's something else. With tapping, emotional freedom technique, it's a little bit different and it works in a little bit different way. So if you would like to join me, I would so much appreciate it. And if you've never heard of it before, please just go ahead and join and tell me what you think. You may not feel anything, and you never know. So what we do, we're just going to start with the side of the hands. Okay. And you just want to tap it ever so lightly. You don't want to tap it heavily. And you say after me, even though I may not always think about my urinary system, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I might not fully understand its workings, I choose to appreciate and care for my urinary system. Even though it quietly does its job, filtering and balancing, I honor and support my urinary system. Now, the reason you repeat it back to me is because your subconscious is stating it. So you can say it to yourself and still get the same thing, but it works better out loud. So the eyebrow point, I acknowledge my urinary system. Side of the eye, it works tirelessly to keep me balanced. Under the eye, I appreciate its role in my overall well-being. And you don't have to tap hard. I release, this should say here, I release any tension or stress held in my urinary system. And I did mess it up. And I allow it to function optimally with ease. And under the arm, I am grateful for the health of my urinary system. And then on top of the head, in body and mind, I choose balance and harmony. Now I've been doing emotional freedom technique for a couple of years, but I've never brought it to other people to do. I've just been the only one doing it or doing it for my family. So I will be adding this in because there's more ways that we can address and help ourselves when you are done. When you do a tapping sequence, you can go through it 3 times. And when you're done, you want to place your hands up and you want to just take a deep breath and see what your body tells you. Sometimes when you go through the tapping, different items will come up for you. That you need to do more tapping on. It will bring different emotions up also. Emotional freedom technique is just a way, another way to release energy a little more naturally. So there's, when we add all the modalities in, when we add emotion code, when we add body code, when we add in Reiki or numbers or any of the others that I do, you add in chakras, meridians, there's so much that we can do. Even through iridology, we can look into the eye and see what's going on to help our body. So if everybody's good to go and everybody gives me permission, let me come in here and open this up. Does everybody give me permission to check their urinary system? Is it good to go? Okay. Let me connect. Everybody take a breath for me, please. Okay. Okay. You know what I can do? Wait a minute. After I do this, let me go here and I can actually do this. I forgot that I have the ability to do this now. Da, 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 da. Give me just a second. It will pop on. Come on. Well, I hope it pops on. I'll cross my fingers. Come on. And I suppose tonight I said it was going to work and now it's not going to. Come on. So what I'm trying to do is to get this to mirror. Come on. Please, please, please. Come on. Maybe she's going to let us. Hey, 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 she's going to let us. Yay, yes, yay, yes, yay. Okay, then I'll have to do this. I'll be able to see. Okay. So the urethra is the first thing that comes up. It's on several. And there is an emotional resonance in here. And it's unsupported due to not being defended when needed. And this actually has a cord to resentment. So we're going to break this cord of resentment, transmute, transpond, and we're going to remove the resentments. We're going to replace with peace, love, and harmony. You can tap this in here, or you can tap it in here. Is there another imbalance in the urethra? Is there another imbalance in the urinary system? Yes. Okay. The ureters are happy. The bladder's happy. The kidney. Again, renin is not happy. A broadcast message. I need to be rescued. And that has an emotional resonance of vulnerability. Everybody take a breath for me, please. Corded appliances. I know that we don't all have voltage regulators where we can go around and check our corded appliances, but if you could check your corded appliances, they are sending out shock waves, a little bit too heavy of EMF. Another broadcast. Rescue me. And there's grief within the rescue me. And this is an inner child. No sense of self. And there's a trauma energy of anguish. So we're going to put back in, I am happy, I am loved, I am resilient, I am filled with peace and harmony. I light the room up with my smile. Okay. Still something else. This is absorbed from a father of worthlessness. So we're going to remove that and we're going to put in I am worthy. Everybody take a deep breath. There's something else in there. I can feel it. It keeps. That's what I thought. Entities. There's 50 present, God and Father, and all those that work in the light. I command and demand that all 50 entities are removed. You're not of this place. You're not of this world. Go to the light. What God shall take hold of you. Jesus cut all cords of this life, past life, parallel life, and all future lives. To God, be at peace, be at peace, be at peace. Okay, everybody take a breath for me again. Okay. I did it. Okay, how's everybody feel? We okay? Yeah, okay. Let me get you over here to my last. I think I have one more page. It'll let me share it. There it goes. And thank you. Thank you all for joining tonight's webinar on the urinary system. Your participation and engagement are truly appreciated. Remember, your commitment to understanding and nurturing your health is a step towards a vibrating and fulfilling life. Stay well, and I look forward to connecting you again. Please remember how important it is. Again, here I'm going to say it again, to hydrate, 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 hydrate. And I thank you. Now, I thank you. I am going to, if we would all bow our heads and we will sign us off. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for everyone being present with us tonight and discussing your urinary, kidney, and bladder and all that's involved. And we ask that everyone is healthy and wealthy and that their bodies are vibrating at a strength and a level, Lord, where you can reach and touch and help. In your holy name, we thank you and we bless you and we bless each soul here. Amen.